What's up guys, Mike aka Phony here, and this is Guild Wars 2, and today we're actually gonna talk about it. Yeah! I decided to go ahead and throw together a little highlight reel, just a couple clips from what I filmed today during the several hour stress test they were filming. Lots and lots of lag was to be had, as you would expect from a stress test. There were instances where swapping weapons took like 10 seconds, and that was just absolutely hilarious. Then you have instances like this, where everything was fine. So here I am playing a Guardian, because I feel like I might be going towards the Guardian side. You guys, I think everybody knows, I love my Elementalists, I love the Necromancers, but, and of course Engineers. And you see, it's already happening. It's happening again. I love everything, and the unfortunate thing is I can't choose which one I want to actually stick with. So I decided today to roll Guardian because they could do a little bit of everything. And I also wanted to see if there was a problem here with the whole melee versus range thing, because I like to preach about that, because I feel it's the players that are doing it to themselves whenever they go into a match and they get kited to death by range. And I'll explain that right now. First, let's go over my traits, because that's kind of important here. I dumped a handful of points into Zeal for the power bonus and for Zealous Blade, which allows my Greatsword to heal me, and Eternal Spirit, which makes it so that my Hammer of Wisdom down there at the bottom, my utility spell, does not get consumed whenever I use it to stun somebody. That's very, very important for this build, because you want to have that kind of stuff out for damage at all times, because I'm not necessarily putting out a ton of damage myself. Then I put a bunch of points into Valor for toughness, obviously, and for Honorable Shield. That 20% cooldown reduction on all of my shield abilities comes in really, really handy, because you're going to be using that a lot out here. Now, my two decks are composed of the Greatsword, obviously, and of course, the shield and the sword for the main hand. That's very important if you don't want to get kited around. Now, I also have a utility spell called Judge's Intervention in line, so that if I need to use that as a last-ditch effort to close the gap between me and an enemy, I could use that. Now, I'm slowing this thing down here a lot because I want you to be able to see everything that's happening, and it's way, way too fast, even for someone like me to cast things. This thing in real time. I'm going into this thing, I already pulled out my Hammer of Wisdom, and I'm right behind him, throwing a couple punches here. He's going to dodge out of the way, and that's when I'm going to use my Zealot Defense. What that does is it throws up a shield for me, while also throwing blades at him. Notice he's looking at me, he's throwing stuff at me. I was able to block some of that to mitigate some of that damage. Then I run in close, I drop my Shield of Absorption. This knocks everybody back. Notice there's a lot of things in the area here I need to be careful of. Now that I've consumed most of my shield abilities, I've gone ahead and pulled out the Greatsword right here so I can get some health back just a little bit, because I'm starting to draw attention to myself. And he rolls away again. He gets some good distance on me. Again, lots of attention coming. I go ahead and use my heal right here. And then I use my ranged ability first, so that way I could just get that out of the way, and then I close the gap. Keep in mind, I've only used 1 out of the 3 total gap closers that I have in my arsenal with this build. That was the second one right there. I probably didn't have to use it, but I wasn't sure which direction he was going. At this speed, it's pretty easy to tell he wasn't going anywhere. At that point, I probably could have also hit F2 and then used that resolve. I could have healed myself. Unfortunately, I did not. I was a little bloodthirsty right there. Sometimes it happens in the heat of battle, man. It just happens. Now, here's that same fight again in real time. Here's the Hammer of Wisdom. Pull that thing out. You'll notice that I also use it to stun right in the middle of this fight. I didn't even mention it the last time, because there's so much happening so fast. There's my ranged ability. I close the gap. I knock them back. Throws them off. They bounce a little bit. That was the knockdown right there from the hammer. And that just, again, it puts them on the ground, allows you to put some damage out. I use my range whenever I can, and then I close the gap to put out my DPS. He's gonna roll out of the way. This is, it's like a rotation. It's pretty much just a rotation. I don't use F2, I die, but at least I got him, right? This fight's a little bit different because right in the middle of it, I decided to go from offensive to defensive. Now, I'm going into this whole thing sword and board because it is a rifle warrior, and I've seen videos of rifle warriors just doing stupid amounts of damage, and so I want to make sure that I have full control over it. Plus, I want to be able to use my nice and handy 10-second teleport ability that you have with the main sword. Now, I am making one mistake during a lot of these videos, and it's that I'm not hitting the F1 key, because my F1 key is actually bound to a mouse button, but that mouse button doesn't want to actually hit the F1 key whenever I want it to. So whenever I am hitting it, it's because I'm actually reaching up there and pushing F1. I've redone all of my keys. For some reason, that particular mouse button just does not want to play well with me. Now, here I am. I look over to the left and I see that my teammate is running away. He's hurting. I make a futile attempt to actually teleport to him using my flashing blade, which is my teleport ability. Unfortunately, it doesn't teleport you when there's an altitude difference like this. Thankfully, I have a backup, Judge's Intervention, then I throw down a Shield of Absorption and knocks everybody out of the way, and then I can heal my teammate who's just standing there, just chilling. I think he was just ready to die, just to give up. Now he's got a little bit of a boost, a little morale boost there. I try to help him out as much as I can, pull out the Greatsword, put out some damage. It's not quite enough. He's not doing enough to really support himself. It looks like he's just mashing the one button over and over again. He dies. I decide to chase people around. There's more than one person here, obviously putting out some damage. This person right here, he does a heal, and then I pull out my hammer. Unfortunately, that's when the game ends. And that sucks. I probably would have won that. This one's just for fun, why not? I got pretty clever with the Sanctuary ability. Drop it right here. If you've ever played Protoss, you know exactly what I'm doing here. It works in this game. And Sanctuary, what it does, it puts out a bubble that repels invaders for a short period of time if you place it just right. Now, I almost got a little bit too far off to the edge here, but I wanted to put it just enough because I know he's not gonna be able to make that jump. I've gone around circles on top of this building several times. I know what the limits are to the characters. And if you turn around right here, you're gonna see he's gonna try to make the jump. He can't make it. This is one way you could use abilities like that to create some distance between you and him. That was much better than me just chilling inside of there, waiting for my heal to come up, because as you can see, my F2 ability wasn't exactly a lot of heals that I get out of that. But with this kind of distance, he pretty much gave up and was pretty much home free after this. Alright guys, so that's all the footage that I have to put together for right now. I do have more footage available, but just right now, this is all I'm putting together just to throw something out there because stress test is over, and I wanted to get some stuff out there for you guys because I know a lot of you guys follow me because of the Guild Wars 2 stuff, and I want to remind you that even though I do a lot of Xbox 360 content, that doesn't mean that this is an Xbox 360 channel. I do love me some MMOs. So, this is the last fight right here. This is the absolute last fight in beta, in the stress test, okay? Raps is running, and it gets to the point to where I'm double teamed, whatever. I probably would have won this, right? But watch this. This is where beta crashed because it was disconnected. Right over here somewhere. Where is he at? There he is. There's our friend right there, the Necromancer that I force fielded earlier. He's obviously looking for payback. And... aww, he doesn't get it.